head-to-head here. Can Naniwa change history, or is Soulkey going to prove that history repeats itself here? We're going to find out soon. Down here in the bottom right, the last non-Korean here. Give it up for Naniwa. And in the upper right, currently ranked #1 in the entire world. Give it up for Soulkey.
A lot of fans on both sides, and rightfully so. Oh my God, is that a 9-pool, Tasteless?
I believe it is.
Wow.
Very unexpected.
A 9-pool. This is
not just for, you know, this phase of the tournament, but just from Soulkey specifically?
Well, you can tell that Soulkey has studied Naniwa a lot. Naniwa has shown a lot of new builds recently, one of which is a Nexus first with a gateway on the high ground, and a build like a 9-pool is going to do fantastically against that.
But he's not doing that. Going for gateway right away here at the entrance.
So this 9-pool, we'll have to see how successful this is, really. It's not necessarily going to slow Naniwa down at all.
Yeah, and if these Lings get out and get to that location and are unable to do that much damage, I mean, if you guys are new to Starcraft too, and I know we do get a lot of new viewers here, when the Zerg is not making drones early on and instead making attacking units, he's going to be at a disadvantage later on in the game if he hasn't done something to cripple the Protoss early on.
Well, you know what? The pylon going down outside, this Overlord will find it in a moment, and those 6-lings will be able to come down here. But the amount of damage that they're going to do is basically negligible. They're going to be able to get rid of that pylon, sure. But Naniwa probably won't even end up really losing any probes.
So the Lings coming down here now. Soulkey kind of placing a bet here that the Lings alone would probably screw Naniwa up early on. And it looks like he might be fine. The Zealots started now. But there's nothing here to block just yet.
Well, he's going to go after that low ground pylon, knowing that that's exactly what he can kill no matter what.
Exactly. And there is a small probe here to block for the time being, and it looks like, is he going to have to completely try to wall that up? Whoa!
Letting those Zerglings in. Now they're going to go after the pylon. That is going to force the probes to come out, and the Zerglings will chase those back. Naniwa has to be careful not to lose too many probes here.
Yeah, Soulkey going right after Naniwa's workers. Now Naniwa then re-engaging with the probes as the Zealot comes out now. Lings going up. Third pylon finishing now around the gateway and the core. The Lings come around again here and get another probe kill over at the gas.
Ooh, I think that's about 4 probes killed already, so this has actually been quite successful, Tasteless. Naniwa has to be frustrated.
More probes killed here than there have been Zerglings. And Soulkey, look at that perfect timing, gets out right as the mothership core comes out. He did the exact optimum amount of damage that he could, and the moment he identified, I might lose 4 Lings here if I stay here any further. Why would I get behind in any possible way? He evacuates.
That was a fantastic 9-pool against a build that is normally pretty okay against it. So already Soulkey has an early lead, but Naniwa is grabbing a Stargate off of one base, something you never see.
Yeah. This is anything but a textbook StarCraft 2 game. These guys are both just completely trying to surprise each other. Let's see now where this Stargate build takes us. What is he gonna get?
You know, heavy mind games going on, Tasteless. Ooh, a Phoenix being started. Now, an Overlord is flying in, and if that Sentry goes over to kill it, he'll try to probably run a Zergling up.
All right, now he hasn't spotted the Stargate just yet, and he now sees it. And this is the moment where Soulkey, as a Zerg player, is going to start reacting immediately. And trying to respond the best he possibly can to make this Stargate route in the tech tree useless.
Well, those Zerglings coming back and harassing on this pylon once more. The Sentry comes down to try to block it, but it looks like these Zerglings absolutely don't care at the moment.
Yeah, well, he can get this pylon for sure. And now he can actually go after this Sentry.
Well, Nano cannot lose that Sentry.
What is, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my God, barely saving that.
1 hit point left there on that Sentry. 1 Zergling hit, rather. Barely saves on time and loses another probe. Oh.
This is already becoming a bumpy game here for Naniwa. There's been a lot of things that I did not expect to go wrong that have already happened. I really didn't even expect those Lings to get inside the base there or to even do that much damage. I did not expect that sentry to be, you know, taken out there. That's for sure. Now we're going to see what can he do with these Phoenixes heading up here towards Soulkey's base.
Well, the Phoenixes probably can get at least some harassment done, but more Zerglings coming down. In the meantime, a lot of drones going up for Soulkey. He's just making his lead bigger and bigger. But Naniwa does have that Warp Gate research done. Will warp in some more sentries. This is very annoying, though.
Yeah, Naniwa really knows how to get the optimum amount of damage out every time something like this happens. By the way, a Queen taken out now. He even lets those sentries, by the way, back there lose shields before going for the force field. That's one of the only. Naniwa is one of the only players I see play like that.
Yeah, every single time he is just maximizing all of his energy. Really well done by Naniwa, but Soulkey has a pretty strong lead, Tasteless. It's 40 drones to 27 probes, and that natural expansion is not even up yet for Naniwa.
Yeah, the Nexus almost finishing, but oh so late, and the Zerg is just going to take, I think, a bigger and bigger and bigger lead here. Now, if he can get a few good Queen snipes here with these Phoenixes, maybe he can come up with something. Meanwhile, you see Soulkey actually sending down Lings here. This is Naniwa in first person right now. We're going to see if these Lings try to engage the front up here. Can he do any damage with these Phoenixes, though? That's the real question.
Well, he's going to continue to patrol around with these and do whatever he can. He's trying to find any Queens that are too far out, drones that he can pick up. And you see, he will grab a few drones here and there. You know, as long as you keep those Phoenixes alive, it's all good. Ooh! Almost loses that one, but keeps it up.
Yeah, he's got to be careful there. He might be able to get a little bit more damage off, but the Spore Crawler placement here from Soulkey is actually really, really tight. It's really tough for Naniwa to really get much of anything done. And the units that Soulkey's setting out around the map are just Lings. I mean, even if the Phoenixes pick them up and take them out, it's you know, the lowest cost unit you could really kill with a Phoenix. It's
almost not even worth it.
Exactly. It's almost making the Phoenixes not really worthwhile.
Well, Soulkey, he's playing as safe as possible. He does not want these Phoenixes to help Naniwa catch up at all. In the meantime, Naniwa is grabbing his robotics bay and a couple more gateways as well. Do you think we're going to see a two-base all-in here?
Well, I would hope so from Naniwa, because I don't know what else he can do at this point in time. I mean, Soulkey's made several little decisions that have, you know, built up to something quite big that you really have to wonder, how can Naniwa recover from this? Okay, here's something for Naniwa now, taking out a few drones.
Oh,
and getting out.
Careful not to lose any Phoenixes. That is some great control.
Yeah.
Three of those Phoenixes down in the deep red health.
So nicely done, but intercepted there by the Hydras and the Queens. Perhaps too much of a predictable route of escape there from Naniwa. Easily intercepted. 4 Phoenixes is the count right now.
Well, at least he's dealt some damage economically to his opponent. Naniwa is going up for Colossus. He's adding more gateways. Tasteless, it really looks to me like he's playing very safely here. Whether he attacks or he expands, he's making sure he's not going to die to any attacks from Soulkey at the moment.
Now, we also have a Spire on the way here from Soulkey, and he may start stocking up a lot of gas. He already has 500 to possibly do a pretty big tech switch coming up here. Let's see when Naniwa actually does opt to move out, because I think it's going to be a little bit here.
Well, he's starting to clear these Lings out. Kind of sloppy there by Soulkey to lose everything to just those few units. Could have run away, but in the meantime, Naniwa adding an Immortal, getting those gateways finished. He's going to be going into Colossus tech very shortly. And what do you think? Are we going to see some Corruptors here?
We certainly could, and that would be a big problem here. You know, if you go back to this early point in time in this game, Naniwa got behind, which means he's going to have to do a real balancing act when it comes to having the right units out at the right time. And if he doesn't have enough Stalkers, which can happen pretty often, especially when some players get comfortable and they already have some Phoenixes out, the Corruptors can come in and wipe everything out Colossi related.
Well, I think that there's a good chance that's what's going to happen. He is taking this third base and getting his Twilight Council. He still has those 4 Phoenixes, but they're not really doing that much anymore. And Soulkey is pushing his creep down the map.
Yeah, and then with that creep getting closer and closer, the combination of a Corruptor timing with all these ground units, the reinforcement of it is probably going to be too strong. I wouldn't be surprised if Naniwa gets run over here at his third.
I think you're right, Tasteless. There's just not that much there. 3 sentries, well, the force fields are going to do a great job, but he really needs that second Colossus and Thermal Lance to finish up.
All right, we have a small force now pushing out here just to see exactly what's the unit comp when they get up to this big attack to make sure he has it. Now, by the way, Naniwa does have a good amount of stalkers here.
He does.
More than I expected for him to have at this point in time.
Well, you know, those stalkers, it is a good amount, but there are 7 corruptors out in the map now. And when these 7 corruptors come in and target down the Colossi, they aren't going to live for very long. And without the Colossi, the mass Ling and Hydra force should be able to take out this army and this base.
Well, we're at the point in time now where the Zerg supply is beginning to spike here. He's going to try to draw this army out. He sees, oh, nice, just triggering a Guardian Shield there. He sees the 2 Colossi. But there's more on the way here, and the Corruptors are coming in here now. And it is, here he's hitting hard right now. The force field's pretty good here from Naniwa, but the Corruptors are just going to wipe out these Colossi, and perhaps with the Hydras and Lings here on the low ground, everything else should be taken out.
Oh, there's just not enough Stalkers, not enough Sentries, not enough anything here, and Soulkey is going to wipe out the entire army. Naniwa at this point has no chance, and GG.